no kwamo mianka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tete mu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbemu wanya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wanu aduro tatahwe ene je sam se seba ne sunsumu nsama wo mo telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo mo kofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma ede momo se mosini ene enzimani akabo mu dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi aje wukunu anasa wo yere awaresem adwuma sam akwantuo mu nsam ni nyina aya suma sam fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan of
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do samama.
Alright, abisha mama kwaba eba Odia Sampa TV. Eya mosomfo Odia Sampa ni. Twedi ampo abie kwan na ne yemienu ehwe ho de. Migidi se oho eye. Sanso na me ho eye. Yehwe media no so a otum se Nana Kwame Bediako echitaafo bebre na ani age. Adenti ena enije aba ni na ne se Nana Kwame Bediako asubmit ne nomination forms a isi e provide ya no send e be ya obemiti ne requirement enyina but enije a Nana Kwame Bediako echidi for any age nyina se yetumi asubmit eye se yetumi ama yani age and me be yi achiro ne ekoso ewo ho nyina but ye wi a metro bibia eno ne chere se enisa wo ma wani agi bebre till the final bro is brought out. Although yenim say easy, there's nothing stupid they can do as at this point because on one kasa hu say mabunu no ye ni abre omu di agro be di omo but these two political parties their influence no can do anything. So this is not the time I was say you jubilate. The time for jubilation, you know, a free ena eba abeba. Abusia ansana mede nienti America cho say eni say ye jubilate sisi e. Nemom o say ye twan ema ebre no eso ansana jubilation no asha ase no. Ye beko na yakohwe ne ekoso ewo EC office. Ene Nana Kwame Bediako ena oni media encounter ensam a omobisa no ene ne okai yeduru ba bia o se ye breakdown na ye be ya mo afi ye wi anye de nkai na ere abeto aso ere ama mesra na ne dedika wa shi Odia Sampa TV a subscribe to channel ne share na like it invite afoforo no meka busuakuo no afi free so sa so be chewa adwen e wo comment section no ase wono mesra wo ye be ma o mema sem enkoyi oba awon dadun e ha be ma low sperm count Eban said diabetes, asthma, hepatitis B, stroke, and a Odi nsuru. Me and the CEO of Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. From number they go as your 054 330 4976. Pure organic herbal medicine. Oba then I don't know nimdia edi adom me. Now your bowra kwayem farmer organic. Wawa odum sapele ni ade ni akambo. Ya dia sawayare ama enkunimdie. Aba. Enko hwe Nana Kwame Bediako ebra
nokre me se mo se mwanya abotre na mokoto abase de moto kane na ma repeat mistake koso man no bleedi adwuma efo so bleedi no kwasa na me ka kire we me fa me ho hate party A ni party B enye wo busu ejapade ti ye kama yen kana wo man no ya ye late sebi wo mo kasa pie so kakra bi no mo ye na yo mo be ye no so cry fake the second coming of Nkrumah Nana Kwame Bediako ye soroma wo hyeren etigana man ye ti sumu na se wo se wo be ma ye
Good morning. Very well. Pleasure to meet you, finally.
My wife.
Your wife and I go back a lot. Good morning, Mr. Nana Kwame Bediako, popularly known as Cheddar, independent presidential candidate, and to your lovely wife as well and your team. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, as in 2020, the Commission has established 2 teams which have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the candidate meets the requirements as set out by law, namely, that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, and I hope you are,
Yes, please.
that he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, amongst others. The second team, namely the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to ensure that the candidates are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and have been oriented to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided prior to 2020, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this would help to eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized nomination processes prior to the 2020 election. I welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission once again, and thank you for personally coming to submit your nomination forms this morning. As the returning officer for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election, I will now receive your forms. Your forms will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny by our teams. I'd like to assure you that our teams will go to work immediately on your forms and will contact you within the shortest possible time to inform you of the decision arrived at. I'd like to thank you for your time, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
All right, Abusha. Inti EC boss. Ra na wabra gu oni nyina no. Ne tenten ni tietia nyina ne se. Odana na Kwame Bediako eni ne team enyina ase. En team no so no me ene wa wo hwe me nyina no ye ka ho. En odana na Kwame Bediako sisi a wonye incoming president o pe o mpo ye si ne president na wie. Ye president Nana Kwame Bediako ne ho kanfo odomu nyina se ye ma omo forms no anase submission forms no with a particular time no matumi akofele the aba with the time na ye sha omo say also obi atumi the ne de eba no na omo de aba and e was say yenya onyo not less than 2 people more voters ID card ne district 1 for omo beka no ho na omo ahwe na omo assign and I was say ye hunya ne running mate enso de ka ho enti no sisi a no wanya submit ne forms no awie ne de omo nwie afi na omo be go through na omo go through ewie a na yamano results say ada say wa qualify and na say wa qualify. That's the reason na me catchera wo say enye abre a ye be rejoice ni minim say na Kwame Bediako de oye so intelligent, so smart, so wisdom say obefele this form we na wa disqualify no ho ewom. But ade a ewom ni say this two mafias uhu omo so omo ya atamfo omo adwene na ayepe we Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ne policies one Mahama odi 6 case wa eyepe we nchimbi and omo ina omo nim say ye change baton CCI MPP akọ omo ye kan say baton na wi edu time also omo district ne she NDC insam nti ne omo ye ina na eye strategy na sabi o nipa emmoa ebewu ewo omo ho sabi ye nipa mmoa enye nipa na ebewu o eye nipa mmoa na ebewu ewo MPP ne NDC eho because nipa ankasa ne de omo nkowu ewo this two political party ho nipa ankasa kra enkowu ewo political party bia eho we only do the right thing by nipa mmoa emom de ombekwa akowu ewo these two political party ho ba omo mienu so kwotena na omo akọchiri ewo kukuam na omo abaye omo so omo ya atamfo ewo yeyenim and sankofo mienu we betumi akọ omo adwen abom so omo be mafia your president and until I make sure so this is not time the time and yet time I also your rejoicing nemum this is the time I also you send a warning to them say you prefer election mamuma bibia anya fair. I don't think so on baba be catch reason na Kwame Bediako o ma disqualify na o ma disqualify na so omo ma a tangible reason I say ya disqualify na Kwame Bediako because yan youth in the in fact e hia ye pa and then me for krum me kokuma si zoo ba no ni video baba akire enti video bi a be drop bi a mesero so benya adaje no ahwe na wa share e de ama me in fact metwofo ni ade a almost supported na Kwame Bediako matale am de koye no ani metwofo ebo ben me na be bo ma ba so na ka say ye time na Kwame Bediako achim say yes new force you're unstoppable new force you're unstoppable enti one na o say ya to mo mo comment section na say monchro ma yi si o mo ready o mo gu media no so o mo ready yen nye ya adwen say ye be ye basabasa nemom ye pa ne say palpale ye because there be abeka ye hina ye cry ye su free peace say ye su free peace dia and ye su free justice enti sisi an yen we are calling for justice because already on my Ghana ye will peace no but justice and enya adwuma until this time around we need not to call for peace but we need to call for justice. Yes, you almost saying we should call for justice over it. Yeah, a good year a war mine muna and conform ba kubi na edi no we are calling for justice over it. Justice. This year this is the time where we should call for justice and forget about peace because we already have peace. Ghana obi ampe violence by a peace. Obi ampe violence a peace and we have the peace. So now adia ye ni justice so we are calling for justice. Enti obi amon homode say ye be calling for justice and no any adia ye kan ho asem. Omoto aso ye bisa na Kwame Bediako ensem bi ye nkotie ensem a ye bisa na ne okan na sana na Kwame Bediako na ankasa no ye kan say gan kasa yin na otumi hwe gumo ohwe begum e wo ho no enti de ye nto aso na de aka m ne ye fa mesom.
These are our nomination forms from our various supporters from all the districts. And we have 2 candidates. 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 We have 2 have in each booklet any 4 sets, for the price of 4, signed by all, signed by the presidential, Lawrence, his vice, and all other requirements that are needed to meet these conditions have been done. Attached, we have also the pictures of our presidential leader, and the pictures of the look and the draft, which is very, very important. The 100,000 is attached. So, Madam Chairperson, we are glad to submit this one this morning, and I'll take the opportunity to officially hand over the forms to you for the necessary actions with that. Thank you.
This is start on again. The flicks of the camera.
I want to say that democracy works in this country, and we appreciate that very much. That for us to have the right to be a part of our national governments gives us hope for this future can be built, not by foreigners, but by citizens of this country. And that alone gives me hope to be a Ghanaian. I'm proud to be one. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank you, Jane Mensah. This job is not just for a woman, but you have proven yourself that you're a woman with strength to lead a nation. For us to go through this moment, this election is a tough one. It's a lot of tension, and I pray that God gives you the strength, the willpower, and the great knowledge and wisdom to be able to help your country to go through this moment. And let there be peace, let there be love, let there be understanding, and let us build our country together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegation, coming with the Kwame Bediako. At this point, to bring the receipt of nomination to an end, I would like to thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Abusia, you better a video no so now this time around and Kwame Bediako can say be a menene nya adwen and the EC boss so can say be ni hina na Ghana ye down for ogbo mpaye say o man Ghana that's EC boss asema wo kan no say obeboaye na ya body ye man ni ama asumdwe aba masa enye nyankopon na ebeboaye o ye reset ye mindset onu EC boss no te wonom o make sure say obema nokre ene periperi ye aye adwuma so wa ma periperi ye ene nokre ye anya adwuma a nyankopon ontumi emboaye ema ne nyeyi hwe wiase wo ho edurumi bia ye bibifo ye nka nokre nkyere ye ho me yesunsumni ena me ka we efri twedi ampon ogba ade no eso edeba ahohom nyina atwa ye ho ahia se nipa an ate a emu bia ntumi ate enu nti ene ye ka kire wo se wo nipa wo a wo hwe me wo ye ogba ade me ye ogba ade efri se abra twedi ampon enwene nipa a wodi kan uni hobi mini hobi efri won so mo ka kire ye no ye hu se twedi ampon anwene nipa abeto asase so biem sa hohom bi kura pese oba asase so be ye bibia nipa ene de ne ba into wo ye ogba ade me ye ogba ade na Kwame Bediako asem o kan am ne nya adwen ne so se democracy ye adwuma wo man nim democracy ne de ache a enya adwuma na ye adwuma ka ba ne se na conversion ya je wusika nyina achi yetumi twa mu ma ne yeye democracy ye adwuma anka ba ne se na wo submit o forms say wo pɛ say wo run for presidency and as wo run political party na emra no democracy emra no kyerɛ sɛ by 7 days I also winya provisional lances want to me enya within that 7 days nneɛma bi na akyea ɔbɔ na aba so deɛ ɛbɛfa ne saa but ɔyɛ baatan ɔmɔmɔden sɛ ɔbɛma no kredie ayɛ adwuma sɛ kan da ne mene mu o etuo si ne bu o ne ohu yɛ no ɛyɛ bii a ɛyɛ bii ɛno ɛna ɛbɛmi yɛn ho sɛ ampa democracy ɛyɛ n'adwuma abusua wo deɛ okodi nkɔmɔ media for wa onim sɛ yɛ Ghana yɛ media yɛ ɔmo gusi a ɔmo ana ɔmo sɛ ɔman nso bibi a ɔmo bɛkɔ kɔ na ɔmo kɔ na ɛnyɛ sɛ bi ɔman ne nkan ko ɔkɔ no akɔ broadcast anya view ɛde agye sika nti ɔmo kɔ hyia no ebisa ne nsɛm bi nkuti nsɛm ɔmo kɔ bisa no nso no.
The campaign is good, and I must say that Ghanaians have been very much embracing. I am proud to be a Ghanaian, and I feel good to stand for the people of this nation. I know that we can build a better country by us, from us, and therefore I want to say that it's not just going to take the campaign to make this, but it's going to take the people of this country to decide and make this a better place.
One of the requirements in the form is for you to name your vice president. Will you tell us who this person is?
I would when the time is right. Like you always know, we unveil. So don't worry. Keep waiting. When the mask comes off, you will see that one.
Thank you.
It's a moon seven by na mask in the shaman. I'm a woman so. Be a ba, boko. Some of the manifesto with the Abramo. Yamupi, I mean, the Abramo. Some moon say the Panamusha demo, so much as I know much road. But we were dumb, and I'm going to pass so much. But Omina Beba, Peter Beba, John Beba, Paul Beba, Omina be Yomuti. Timpasam Tremo said, next mask now Mubehuno, Mubehu vice president, Mubehu economist, Mubehu Crofwaya, the Omoba, the 12 apostolic governors, Omina be Yomuti, and at the new 6 in Sono, almost so bad. Who said in the 1950s and the 60s, no, now I can deform work room. Sana no mushisha mu. We yini pa, bit video matu two industries biano. And baby a here say, the dear didn't call more. Now more the what assure monster. And the announce on the new force. Yeah, that's it.
Finally, no Uber permission about to say oil bar and what me distinguish the home for this process and this work. Saying I can want which you want for.
Oh, me free say a juma way. Or buy to me, I know. As I say a bonabasso. Sabi a cruma, and farm by engineer baby as I say, do Mujina. In the end, number percent, me aka some so make a one I say much than say. A juma in ye easy a juma. And yet a bema crown a bin to me, into a bar what to me a crown, man, ya or crack on a cracker plan. As I say to me, a bonabasso, say money general we near Tarnachi, none or more, no oyan and so. A timia yena at Yasum J about my all the people. Ganyobi in Leake, your town, new tomorrow. Yes, I'm bringing it. I will make sure that it's also not only Ghana, but we go to all the other regions: Ashanti, Bono, Oti, Volta, North, all the places. Asani, we'll create new tomorrow. And so I would make sure that whatever that me and the people of this country have to do together to build ourselves and create these jobs and create this wealth, that's what I'm here to do. And I ask the nation to stand behind me, and I stand with them. Thank you.
Nti abushia na Kwame Bediako na media for ebisa na nsam ba ko mienu about the new says any vice president ehun asam no and also ono ne de opese Ghana for because one say Ghana na say ye kiosk curiosity no ye twa no short ye kiosk enye kiosk aye kobo wo mu no aha enti no opese ye enjoy sa asin nti de ye nya abotre ne ye pe bia no okoso e deliver my enti no
the new force no you can say vice president no enche obeyi neti abusua campaign from Axim Kundum Festival no ebe started from Echena kwan bia so medru Axim near started campaign no ya ye banner enso se metumi de banner ne video na me ma omo ye no ono ho a e de ato me honom but abusua support no esho wadaroma momia mmoe ne enka ye ho mom na ye ma oman no fa ne ntomapa infra nti support bi a pesa wode ba no number na egu ase na 0543304976 banner no kra na nko so yetumi eye ne kese e na nka bi a fires cry bitumi de ama drivers na omo de abobbo omo cars ho no enye easy in fact ye nuanom bi e try kakra me ankasa nso me contribute bi so ema yegu so a ye nti se mbetumi aboa na nka ye fires ni bi nso kra na ye de ama taxi drivers na omo nso omo de ebobbo omo cars no ho na in fact nkofo nso ame no makasa aye ready a omo twan me wo no ho ase meba na ye hina na nka o se bia ena Monday na me wo ho no na so nyema ba ko mienu bi nti amama ntumi anko te busa mu hina so mo fa mo support emfa mra makra